Hey, if you have a Pokemon card business, you might be pricing your cards too low if they sell immediately. Having a business where you're buying and selling things, you don't necessarily want them to sell quickly. In fact, holding on to cards, even like some of these, which are higher ticket items, these are all cards that I've had on my inventory for a long time, and I'm okay with that. I don't need them to sell immediately. And I think that that's a reminder that you might need as well. So let's chat about that in this video. But what's up, guys? Welcome. If it's your first time here, my name is TJ. I run this business called Pastor TCG because I am a pastor. That's what I do full time. I work at a church. I also am busy. I'm a husband and a dad, and life is, crazy and chaotic. And it's Christmas season, so we've got all sorts of stuff to be at. There was a little tree lighting at a local spot tonight. I'll put a picture here of my crew out at the tree lighting. It was a ton of fun. But I also, in the evenings when my family goes to bed, work on slinging these cards, and I've done about $300,000+ in sales. And I drink lots of diet soda. It's like a trademark of the channel at this point. Here's a tasty Coke Zero in a bottle. Yuck. Anyways, I have this. This is a funny story for you guys. My team. I was at my staff Christmas party, the church team that I lead the other night, and they put me to the test because I've been talking a lot of smack, and I was blindfolded, and I had to be able to blind test taste the difference between Coke Zero, Diet Coke, Pepsi Zero, Diet Pepsi, and one more, regular Coke, and I nailed it. Not like 5 for 5. Didn't get any wrong. Anyways, I got a problem. So let's talk about pricing cards. This is going to be a yap session, but sometimes I will have conversations with you guys, and what I've heard is that you kind of start to sweat a little bit if you buy a collection and some of the items don't sell immediately. And when I say immediately, like within a couple weeks. And just so you guys know, the people who are in this game who have like large businesses, they don't expect their cards to sell immediately either. In fact, it's relatively common to hang on to cards for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Gosh, I think the one here that I have that like this is a lightly played card, which I would say like any cards with play on them tend to stick around longer because there's just less people looking for cards with play on them. But even like vintage stuff, like this is a first edition Fossil Dragonite, lightly played for sure. But I've had this one for, gosh, I don't know, maybe 4 months now, and I'm okay with it, like because I don't need it to move immediately. Could I lower my margins, sell the card, for a price where it's going to sell right now and move on? Sure, I could. But do I need the capital that bad? No. And is there, with certainty, someone is going to buy it for market price at some point, or around market price at some point, even a little above market price at some point? Because that's what market price means. Market price means it's an average of all the sales that have happened around, that number. And so at some point it will sell. So don't panic. Don't feel like you need them to all, you don't need to sell them all right away. In fact, I would say it's a mark that your store, that your business has stability when you don't need things to sell right away. Where having a steady stream of capital coming in is better than just having to completely get rid of your inventory. And here's another big thing too. If you want to build up a brand at all, and you want people to specifically have a desire to shop from you, like maybe you've got a pro seller site like mine, which by the way, 5% under market if you want to check out my pro seller site, link down below, and you want there to be cards there, so that customers, when they go to shop from you, they exclusively can count on there being like a decent amount of inventory available. You don't want to sell all your good stuff immediately. You want to leave some things for some of your good, some of your customers, right? I think I've got a Bubble Mewtwo. I've got like a decent amount of things where it's like I don't need them to sell immediately. In fact, that's a really cool feature that is available on TCG Player, is you can have like a reserve quantity for your pro seller site. So if I want to, like, let's say I wanted this Diantha to only show up on my pro seller site but not the marketplace, like I could do that. I could do that to make sure I could do this to make sure that the next time someone comes to my store looking to buy a higher end trainer card like this, there's one available. So that's an option that you have. But just don't panic if it's like, oh shoot, like I bought that card, it's been 3 weeks, no one's bought it. You're not going to sell it immediately. In fact, that's why you're able to buy the cards at the price that you're able to get them, right? If everyone was able to list their cards and have them sell overnight, resellers would not be a thing, because why would anybody sell to someone like me at 70% or 65% or whatever it is, right? Why would they do that if they knew for sure that they'd be able to list their cards and just like poof, poof, it's gone, it's gone, poof, it's gone in the morning. Like they wake up, they list their cards overnight, and all of them sell overnight, and a few days later they got the money deposited into their account. Nobody would sell to resellers. But part of the risk that I'm taking on, that you are taking on, is knowing that, hey, I am going to hang on to this Rayquaza VMAX. Really, really cool card. Lightly played. It's got like a little nick up top. Other than that, it's really clean. Why would anybody sell that to me at 70%? I'm going to have to hold on to it for a while. And I'm okay with that, because I'm okay having inventory. I'm okay. I don't need the capital, because, I've got other things that's like bulk has been selling pretty consistently for me. Lower end cards sell pretty consistently for me, because I have enough of them listed to where there's a constant like flow, cash flow coming in. And then I'm able to kind of control how often I'm buying cards to replenish my inventory. But holy smokes, just don't panic, because again, that's part of being in this reseller game, is just knowing that you are going to have to incur some of that risk of hanging on to the cards for a little while. And that's like, I guess, the difference between like when I think about like having a Pokemon card business and being a Pokemon card flipper. Now, when I say those things, you could say, TJ, those things are the same things. It's the same picture. There's no difference. You're splitting hairs here. You're playing semantics. Like, don't try to glorify what you're doing. You are a reseller. But like I would say, the difference between having a Pokemon card business and being a Pokemon card reseller is just that. Is in my head a reseller or a flipper or a scalper, sure. But maybe not reseller, a flipper, right? The difference between having a business and being a flipper is if you are a flipper, you are expecting it to sell like immediately, or trying to get it to sell immediately. And if that means you break even, you still want it to sell immediately so that you can go and like flip the next thing, right? And again, maybe we're talking semantics, whatever, but where having a business is like you're okay with having inventory. You're okay with having things that don't sell immediately, because at some point things are going to sell. Another cool thing when you hang on to inventory where it doesn't sell right away is that the market obviously fluctuates. And so you kind of play that wave too of like, hey, there's risk, because sometimes as the market goes down, the longer you hang on to it. What's a card I got burned on? Oh man, what was it? Flareon EX SIR from Prismatic. I think I had like 3 of them at one time. And maybe I like by the time I sold it, the price had dropped like $30 or $40 or something like that. It was like, oh no, man, I lost $40 times 3. That's $120. I'm ruined. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, so at that same time, maybe lost money on that card, but there's, a random promo, because when promos are going crazy, where I bought a bunch of the Mew EX 151 promos and they went from $20 to $80 or something. Like, it all balances out. And so I think that like that's advice that I give often when I'm talking with people, is they're in these spreadsheets trying to determine like, man, I've been holding on to this card for so long, I need it to sell. Holy smokes, it's already dropped $10. I'm not even gonna make money on it anymore. What a waste. It's like, dude, you're gonna go nuts. You're gonna lose your marbles. You're not gonna make it. You gotta just ride the wave. You gotta price your cards, set up mass price rules, do whatever. They're gonna sell. You're probably gonna make money. You might break even. You might, even smaller chance, lose money on a card. And even if you do, you're gonna be all right, buddy. It's like, yeah, it's just like business mentality, right? Having like hey, I'm having this is a business. This isn't just me like flipping, selling stuff on eBay. Which again, like, point fingers, say whatever. You could say, sure, that's what you're doing. But that, in my head, that's the biggest difference. So I don't know who needed to hear this. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're sweating because whatever card, the promos right now, I don't have any. Oh yeah, sure. Where to go? This Arceus V promo. I don't know if this one's a bunch of the promos like this are kind of getting hammered right now. So maybe you're sweating because you bought a bunch of the Mew 151 UPC promos and it's crashing and you're like, oh shoot, I'm gonna break even. It's like, dude, you probably are gonna break even. You might even lose money, and guess what? It's okay. And if losing money on 1 or 2 sales bothers you so much to where you're like waking up in the middle of the night and that's the first thing that you think of, the Pokemon card business, retail, having inventory, selling, TCG player, having your store, whatever you want to call this, it might not be for you. But if it is for you, let me just give you a little encouragement. It's okay to hold on to some of your inventory. It doesn't have to sell immediately, and it's okay to take losses sometimes. So, little ramble session, little Coke Zero infused ramble session with good old Saint Nick there, slamming down a Coke Zero. God bless. Hey, but I appreciate you guys watching. We're gonna do a more of the Christmas shorts. That's been super fun. If you guys haven't seen any of those yet, I'm doing a Bible verse a day and a pack a day to get us ready for Christmas. And I'm so pumped. It's my favorite time of the year. It is indeed the most wonderful time of the year. But that's what I got for y'all on this one. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do those things. I believe that Jesus loves you, that he has an incredible plan for your life. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.